Hello and welcome to the 6th episode of 28-611 with Billy Wilson. Tonight we have a great panel of guests, so we're going to get this show started by having each one introduce themselves, starting with Isabelle and going alphabetically.
Hi everybody, I'm Isabelle Fortin, F-O-R-T-I-N, Isabelle Fortin. Also, pretty sure I'm the first French Canadian on your show, Billy?
I think so.
There's been a few Canadians. Yeah, okay. Montreal, Canada. I'm an art director for a sports licensing company in the US, so I work from home, and I'm always on G+. And je voudrais saluer tout le monde qui est francophone. Alors bonjour à tout le monde sur Google qui est francophone. And that's it.
Alphabetical. Getting us in trouble now. Alphabetical.
Oh, sorry. I'm Jon Levy, and I'm actually an Australian New Zealand citizen, even though I have this like Southern Californian accent. And I was born in Japan, and that's where I am right now. And I've lived here basically my whole life. Went to the States for a couple of years, and now I'm back here, and I'm a musician. And yeah, that's pretty much my story.
And Karin?
My turn? Okay. I'm Karin Nelson. I am a graphic designer, and I take pictures for hobby. And I'm Canadian. No, I'm not. I'm living in Canada. I'm actually German, but I live in Canada. I've been living in Canada for the last 13 years, so I'm almost Canadian.
Is that me now? Is it me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mark Rodriguez. I'm a graphic designer, illustrator, animator, photographer, artist. Always on G+. I also co-curate a couple themes, one of which is Movie Mashup Tuesdays and Blast from the Past. I also have the G+ profiling page and also Manly Mondays with Alan Shapiro and Barry Blanchard and a couple others. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Awesome. I enjoy Manly Mondays. Manly Mondays, they're a lot of fun. Awesome. My name is Matt Rappaport. Matthew Rappaport. Don't call me Fappaport, but whatever. I don't care at this point. I am a film director, writer, actor, and Google Plus extra enthusiast, and helping to make it grow and everything. And I do a hangout conversation show weekly, every Thursday night. We have lots of guests. We just had one last night with another photographer, Scott Detweiler, and Jason Joseph as well, which is really cool. And I do a Monday show with Jane Ellen and Matt Mikowski. It's all crazy, called the Plustainment Show, and I'm doing more shows, and I'm happy to be here. So, and I've hung out with Billy Wilson for a long time, and I didn't know he really spoke, but he does speak occasionally, which is nice. And go Canada! I love Canada. And I'm in New York.
I'll go next. I'm Sandra Parlow. I'm here on Google+. I am a picture framer, and I live in Canada. And I am one of the moderators for the Behind the Lens critique group, which is a really cool group, so check it out if you haven't. Yeah, I'm just a photographer here on G+.
And Shirley?
Hi, I'm Shirley, and this is Charles, and we're photographers here in D.C. Tomorrow morning we're going to be going on the White House photo walk, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone in person. And Billy has a great show, and there's lots of great people in here, and it's going to be a great show tonight.
Yeah!
So, I wanted to get this show started by having Mark talk about his Movie Mashup Tuesdays.
Okay. Movie Mashup Tuesdays kind of came about as a joke. It was we also, myself and Isabelle co-curated, and also with Shane Hosklau and Krista Ray, and it started actually out of a joke with Shane Hosklau making movie posters using Krista Ray's dog Willow, trademark. Let's put that next to it. Her dog Willow, and started it with that, and then next thing you know, they started a theme and asked me if I wanted to join in, and since then we've been mashing G+ people with movie posters ever since then. So, I mean, basically the gist of it is we take, famous movie posters or not so famous movie posters and then take friends on G+ and people that we know or don't know, and then put them into those movie posters. So we take their faces and actually put them in the roles of whatever the poster is. So it could be sometimes flattering, sometimes less than flattering. It could be, it could be romantic. It could be a little bit of everything. So it's been fun, and we've been trying to push the theme, and it's picking up steam, and we're starting to get a lot of followers and more people each week. We find new people that want to try it, and the big thing, a lot of people when they come into it, they're a little intimidated. They think it's a Photoshop competition, and I tell everybody absolutely not. It is in no way, shape, or form a competition. It is nothing about skill level whatsoever. It's about fun. It's about having fun with others on G+ and enjoying it. I mean, that is our main goal. And a lot of people, I'm not that good at Photoshop. I only use GIMP. We don't care. We don't really care. It's like it's taking that first step and just making that first poster, and then a lot of times you're hooked. And as soon as you make that first poster, next week you're wanting to make 2 posters, and then 3 posters, and then next thing you know, you're just like, I can't think about anything else, but I want to make more posters. So that's.
You just want to do everyone.
Yeah, you want to. Sandra's done half a G+ already, actually. So we have a couple alum here from the Mashers. We have 2 of them. Karin's done them as well. So
we need more photos of faces.
Yes. There's like 185 or something.
Yeah,
the gallery's getting bigger. There's a gallery for people to upload their photos and give us permission to use. So actually, I think once they put their photos in, they're actually looking forward to getting mashed because they're expecting it. And so
can we put that link public so that maybe people can sign up for that?
Let me grab the link, and then I'll throw it up there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll pull it up while we're talking.
Photos right now?
The comments on the video, so it's public.
Yeah, let me pull up the gallery link here. But and like I said, the big thing, something that we've always, like I said, always said is it's not a competition, and like I said, a lot of people initially get very intimidated. Because they think, oh, my skill level's not good. I don't know that I can do it, and we try and encourage it. If anything, we want them to try, and I'm myself and Isabelle and everyone. Everybody's willing to help out people. It's like it actually is a good community building experience because we really want to help each other out and I mean, I've seen some people that started out with their first poster, and it was what it was, and then it just over the course of a couple of weeks, their skill level you can see just exceed and just blow up. I mean, so quickly. So I'll post it in the chat, Billy. I don't know if you can post it into the other chat, but that's the chat that's the link. To upload your faces. Now you do need to be in our mashup circle to be able to be added to that circle to be able to upload to it. It's unfortunately a private gallery, but once you're in the movie mashup circle, which Isabelle has created, and we're gonna release on the page in the coming weeks, then everyone will be able to upload as long as you're part of that circle. It's just a way to sort of police that circle that we kind of keep track of people coming into the circle and uploading there. But once you put your face up there, you're kind of fair game. So like I said, you're fair game. Good things can happen. No. I have yet to see one that was, there's yet to be a distasteful, nothing. It's all it can be tongue-in-cheek and silly, and you never know where you're going to end up. I mean, I have been personally put in posters that, from one end of the spectrum to the other. So I know for a fact. I was in Brokeback. Well, I did myself in Brokeback Mountain, but I did. I did myself as a naked nurse too. Jesus Christ.
I would do myself too if I was a naked nurse.
Yeah. I was a naked nurse covered in blood, no less.
Yeah.
But
Corn syrup.
you want me to? I guess screen share some of the.
Just don't.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Don't
to see
share
this.
the one that you did of Sandra of.
The porn star Sandra.
Yeah,
Oh, come on, that was.
Hey, Daniel.
Yeah. Hey,
Let
Daniel.
me get out of. Let me get out
Good
of
to see
this profile here. Okay, let me.
While Mark's finding that, we could have Daniel introduce himself.
Hey everyone, I'm Daniel and I'm an artist and a teacher, and I met Billy in the early days of Google Plus, just hanging out just like this. And I'm hailing from Colorado.
Very cool. All right, let me screen share here. I think I want this one. Is it? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
This was
Mark,
one.
you're so amazing at these.
This was one of my first ones. Actually, here, let me show you the actual first poster I did, and it goes back to Krista Ray's dog. Was this one, and this is her dog over here on the left-hand side, put into the Grinch poster. So here's the original, and then that's actually Chris. Like I said, it started as a joke with her dog and Willow, trademark, and so then it kind of evolved from there, and I put
Willow, that's the character.
Well, it's a dog. Then I did the dog in Alice in Wonderland over here, and I've even made Willow Conan. So Conan, Willow the Destroyer. See, here's Willow right here. That's when I did the Ode to Sandra thing there. So, but here I can let's see. Here's when Isabelle joined the curator group, so it dropped her in there. So that's her dropped in.
That was a nice introduction.
That was hers. Let's see. Here's the one we were just talking about with Sandra.
I didn't think you would actually show that one because now people are going to put their photos in the image bag.
No.
You couldn't have shown the one with the pirates on it. No.
I can show the pirates.
Pirates.
This is Kim Pemberton. This was did one for her. Let's see what else we got here. Here's Hilmar as the naked bloody nurse, and then here's me as the naked bloody nurse. Here's one of our other co-curators on actually Blast from the Past, Cheryl Cooper, and she's in there. So we got her in there
that
too.
That whole series is just great. You did so many.
And here's myself and Samir Osman as Brokeback Mountain. So we leave no stones unturned. All in the fun.
Nicer than Mark is.
Eustace James with the Avengers poster. Christina Lowry is Underworld poster. So we, like I said, we like to have fun. I kind of grabbed from different times, different people. Here's Karen's that I did. Something about Karen. So that's kind of I'll put Sharon. That's what we do, and like I said, each week every Tuesday we have fun and we get in there, and like I said, we encourage people to do it. Don't feel intimidated, because that's the least, that's the last thing we want. We want actually to build a community and help people, and if you got questions on how to do it, I don't, tonight's not the night. I was, going to maybe try and do one, but it's not. It's going to probably, I want everyone else to get a chance to talk, so I don't want to do that. But I do still plan to do an actual, I keep saying it, I know a lot of people are going, sure, Mark, sure, but to do an actual hangout where I show, start to finish a poster, but it will happen, I promise. I promise. I will actually do one. But,
How often do you look at someone and then know immediately which movie poster they would go for them?
it depends. Like, some weeks I know what I'm going to do. I do a lot of theme posters based off of either something that's happening with someone else on G+, or something that's happening with myself. Like I went away on vacation and actually did a vacation poster. Let me show that one.
Yeah, I also did a vacation poster of you when you were away.
Exactly.
I think we all kind of tried to.
Yeah, so we...
Without talking to each other.
Right. So we kind of communicate through the posters. Something that's going on. I'll try and tie that in, or somebody I've had maybe a conversation with, and it pertains to a poster. So then I'll drop them into a poster, or I'll just sometimes I'll see a poster, like a movie poster. I troll these movie poster databases, and I'll just go through and roll through them, and I'll see a poster, and I'm like, oh my God, I know exactly who needs to be on that poster.
Yeah.
Like the Hilmar one, I knew exactly that needed to be her, and I was like, she has to be on this poster because, just because. It worked. The whole blood thing, everything was perfect. So there are certain posters that you just see, and it's, you can elaborate.
There's sometimes people who actually will ask us to do some also. They'll send you a private message or email and say, can you do this poster of me, So that's great, because when you can pull that off and they're happy with it, then you get like 2 weeks worth of thank yous, and then it becomes their avatar, it becomes their desktop, it becomes their phone wallpaper, and you're just like their biggest, star. So that's great. It happens a few times, and then of course they want more after. Oh, I have another idea. But that's always fun when you can make somebody really happy like that. I mean, I try to do some that are flattering, or it's always fun to have a nice surprise and see yourself as someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how many movie posters have you done total?
I've done 45 total, start to finish. I've done about 45, and I've actually done more that never made it to screen. Like I am kind of I'm very particular when I'm choosing, again, subject and poster. If the face isn't working, I'll get 90% the way through it and be like, this isn't working, and just can the whole thing and just trash it and start over with something else completely different. But so I've created a bunch also that I never saw the light of day, because I'm kind of very particular about the subject matter and the person, and try and make it work with it. And so like I said, that I've actually shown, I think, 45, but there's tons that, like I said, never made it to see the light of day. They're in the can.
Yeah, I have some started too that I never really finished either, in the same way.
Okay, so I was wondering what people think about public hangouts. For the past 7 days, each day I have initiated a public hangout, and on this last Saturday, after my Beginner Hangout Saturday project I actually did a public hangout for 12 hours. And I was just wondering what other people think about public hangouts.
And by hour 7, your butt was really hurting you, right?
Yeah, but I found a lot of new people, like from around the world, who were quite interesting, and ended up circling them. But there's quite a few language barriers and some weird ones that come in too. So I was wondering what other people's experiences have been. How they feel about public hangouts.
I only did one once, and I talked someone else into doing a public hangout, so they actually opened it up, and it was interesting, to say the least. I mean, it wasn't a bad experience, but we just got a lot of people that would come in and, just kind of...
A public hangout's work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, because it was just kind of, people didn't know what to say, and then some people just kind of came in real boisterous, and you just kind of like...
It's pretty chaotic.
Yeah, it gets kind of chaotic because people come in from everywhere,
It also depends on the time of day you do it, you know? You can
That's
get people
true.
from all over the world, but the later you do it, you know, the earlier it is on the other side of the world, so the more of a chance you're going to be filled that you're going to be the only one that might speak English, which is a tough thing. And,
yeah, another thing, it seems like it stabilizes after like half an hour. The room isn't as much in flux, and people start having a conversation after a while. In the beginning, a lot of people don't know what hangouts are.
But it could take longer than that.
Seems like in the first few minutes, I tend to get a lot of people who start a hangout for the first time ever, and they're just confused, and then they stare at me, and then they realize that we don't speak the same language, and then they leave. Sometimes I get a lot of Arabic people.
So do you guys think if there was a language, I was going to say, do you think if there was a language before you came in that would stop people that didn't speak that language from coming in?
No.
I think so. I think that would work.
Some people still want to just see it no matter what.
Right.
You know, we join a lot of music hangouts.
Yeah.
Where that's great for people who have never hung out because you can't really talk. And there's almost one a day, and often Mark is there with myself, and it's basically just music. So you can have your camera on, or you can just not have it, and there's the side chat, but everybody's muted. So it's kind of like a good way to just get your feet wet, hangout-wise, and people just start that way, and then they get a little bit more into it and join maybe a real hangout the next time.
Does it work? Do they actually mute themselves? Do they all do that?
If they don't, the person who actually creates the hangout, Soleto, just mutes them.
Yeah,
some people don't know, and they try to say hi, and then, you know, we write on the side chat that it's not for chat, it's for music, and then a lot of them leave, but a lot of them stick around and spend 17 hours. Mark and I did 17 hours in 2 days music hangout.
Yeah, didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word, but we were on cam the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not always on cam because I'm working, and, you know, just to be on cam is distracting, and I just want to hear the music. So, but that time it was 17 hours on cam within 2 days, and that was kind of, you get the hang of it after that. Kind of,
yeah, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Then
I've only ever been in one once that was, and it actually started out as all photographers, and then there was 2 spots open, and they opened it up to the public. And it was kind of interesting because a couple of guys came in, and they were like, "Oh my God, we've been trying to get into a photographer's hangout forever." It's like, we're so excited, and it was pretty neat. But I'm kind of scared, like, you know, what you might find out there, because I've heard some pretty strange stories about things that happen in public hangouts, so I kind of stay away from them.
Yeah, nothing scares me. I mean, if someone's in a hangout you don't like, you block them, and that's it. You move on.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to do. It sucks that you have to block people, but
I don't tend to block a lot of people, but in the past 7 days, I've probably like doubled my block list just because I was hanging out publicly each day.
Right.
usually it's a culture thing and a sound thing. People will come in and they don't realize them playing the music in the background or TV in the background or there's noise in the background. They don't even realize that it's there. They're used to it. They don't realize that it's affecting other people maybe, and maybe it's a cultural difference that they're just they're not respecting that. But,
yeah, there's differences, but I've also come across like a couple of pretty perverted guys who came in the hangout. Basically only came in because they saw that there were females in the hangout just to harass them.
Hey.
Yeah, that's why I don't do public hangouts ever.
That's all makes sense. Hangouts.
I just don't.
But aside from them, I actually got like a couple of people who actually now returned to public hangouts. I started one today just for 15 minutes, but one of the people who I had met like a few days ago in a public hangout, he came back because we enjoyed talking together. So I'm actually like growing my network just by finding hangouts, as well as I'm also growing my block list. About the same range.
But you're missing a big point. You know, when we first started in beta, everyone went public because it was new. We didn't know anybody. So we were all going public for a long time, and we just dealt with whoever came in, and that's how we got friends. And that's how we went to limited. So it's nice to do.
There was just less people at the beginning. So yes, I remember they were all public hangouts because you would open a public hangout and you would wait for like 20 minutes to get 4 people showing up. But now it's a lot different. And yes, I'm concerned and I don't want to deal with it. So what I do if I talk to people that comment on pictures or start conversations, it happened that I had a hangout and then I invited certain people that I'm not following. They wouldn't even see my hangout otherwise, and I had them come in because we had a nice conversation on screen first. So that's the way that then I will deal with that. Because most people are nice, but the few that are not nice can wreck it for everybody. So I'm kind of chicken that way.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's a good way to kind of screen people and be like, okay, if we're having a decent interaction just on the comments, then it's going to be okay to let you into a hangout, and you're not going to take over and be crazy. So
how about positive
Yeah,
things?
what Billy
What are
told me
some of
scared
the
me
most
off.
unique things that you guys have done or seen done in a hangout?
Yeah.
it was that positive.
Women definitely are more of a target.
It was that good.
So if a woman starts a public hangout, it'll fill up 3 times faster than if any guy starts one.
Now, is that clocked or that's just your brain? You're saying that? Because I don't know, mine fills up pretty fast.
You're that type of guy. No. No, I know. Amanda Blaine, yeah, that's her name.
She's Canadian.
Hangouts.
Yeah.
And hers fill up like, I tried to join it and it was just so fast. And she lets everybody join. I mean, she does try to monitor it, but yeah, there's people in there, I'm sure they don't understand a word she's saying, and yet they get to join. I think that's really cool. I mean, I admire her for that because I wouldn't be able to do it.
Sandra, would you do it?
I've been talking to Amanda. Like, she was doing
not right now,
public hangouts since June.
Yeah, me, Amanda, BJ, and Joseph Lee, we used to be like the freaking hangout Beatles together, like at the beginning. We used to hang out, and then people would come in, and usually, occasionally, people from the other side of the world would jump in, but for the most part, it was just people speaking English, and that was fine. And you would get people that would black out their screens and this and that, but you know, it's you never know, like what people are doing. You know, a lot of women some women are a little cautious about. You know, I know Amanda doesn't like people hiding in screens and this and that, but you know, even she's done it before. You know, blacked out. I mean, it's about being tolerant and patient and making sure that you give people a fair shake. You know, in these hangouts, because you never know when someone does a hangout. They don't know what's going to. Sometimes they know what's going on. Sometimes they don't know what's going on. And you know, maybe they came to the hangout muted and they went to go get a bite to eat, or they forgot, or maybe they're being creepy, or who knows? There's no way to know though. So like, you know, so you just go with it.
So that's something that you don't like, the blacking out? We were talking about this earlier. So.
Oh, I don't mind it. I mean, it depends. I think it depends. If somebody blacks out because they're going to do something or whatever, and they'll be right back, and that's fine. But if someone blacks out and like is just blacked out for the whole time, it's like taking up the space. If they're not, they're voyeuristic. Yeah, they're not participating. And if people are, I mean, I get people hanging out, not participating, but at least what's the point of you being in there? I mean, hang out with your camera on, right? Why hang out with your camera off? It's weird.
Right. Yeah. It's very strange.
So Hangouts has changed a lot from the beta days. What do you guys think it's going to be like in, say, 6 months from now?
Well, the YouTube interaction is going to be major,
Public hangout.
so we'll see.
Like, they're probably going to, like, fill up with Arabic speakers within, like, 1 second. You start one, wham, you have, like, half Middle East in your hangout. Or at least that's how mine go. Like half of them are Arabic speakers, and the remainder are a mix between Portuguese, Spanish, and English.
You know what they need? They need Google Translate for voice. They can
it'll just pop
translate
up on the bottom.
I'm sure that'll work. That'll work well.
Voice
I can't
translator.
even get it to work on my page.
Imagine if you translate it. Can you imagine if it translates it wrong, and you're like having a weird conversation.
Start a war over Hangouts.
So what happens really when you have people not talking the same language? I mean, how can you spend 12 hours of hanging out when, like you say, there's like so much language barriers and so many people not able to understand each other? Are we still with Billy?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to do multitask. So.
Very well.
Aw.
Did someone say my name, or am I freezing a little?
Yeah.
A little
Every once in a while, yes.
Yeah.
She asked you about. You heard what she said about how do you hang out with all those people that don't speak English for 12 hours?
I actually didn't hear it, but yeah, like a lot of them, they say to like type in the chat, because then they use Google Translate to translate what I've typed.
Wow.
And like I had one hangout the other day there, and like it filled up with about like 5 or 6 Arabic speakers. And the thing is, they just ignored the English speakers in the hangout and started all speaking Arabic, and like it just annoyed us so much because we ended up all blocking them, and then like we all left because like they just took over the whole hangout.
Yeah.
You can have that hangout. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Get your own.
Get your own hangout. Start our own hangout.
Well, didn't we do that once, that we had a hangout and then some people came in and we all said, well, sorry, we got to go now, and then we went back after.
Wait, I think that was me.
Well, when I was hanging with Hilmar, and I talked her into doing a public hangout. We just got some freaks coming on real quick, and we like side chatted the people we wanted. Like, we're gonna close this and open a new one private. We'll be right back, and like left them like in their own little world, and opened a new one for the people we wanted to hang out with.
Yeah, that's what happened a few days ago. The music hangout, something happened with it, and we had to kind of politely, one by one, disappear.
Oh, look at the time.
Oh.
Gotta go.
Gosh, I've been here a whole 3 minutes already. Where did time go?
It's also the other end of the spectrum that so many of my friends, I'm trying to get them to hang out and say, hey, why don't you give it a try? And the answer I always hear is, I don't have a webcam yet, and I don't know, and my microphone doesn't work. And I'm thinking, just give it a try. Just try it. And I even do a hangout and just invite them. But yeah, it hasn't happened yet. There's just always these people that's still too worried about it. And I know how nervous I was for my first 2 hangouts, like, or 3 or 4. It was really like, oh my God, I'm on a hangout. But if you do it with just 1 or 2 people, it doesn't really matter. It's just Skyping. Same thing.
Yeah.
And I think people feel safe if they know who you are. And you've talked with them a lot. Like I've had a few people come in for their first one, and let's just do a one-on-one, and it works out really well. Karin, you were my first.
Oh wow!
Actually, Billy.
Wow, learning new things every day in Hangouts.
Billy was in my first, actually. It was 5 women and Billy.
I was in a hangout where a woman asked Billy to marry him. Right.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
Like, was that with Damien Walker, Mark? Was Damien in there and Kelly?
No.
And
It was Kelly Seeger-Kim. It was Carrie Murphy. It was Teresa Stover. It was Karen Hutton. It was Shannon Teal. It was the Life Through the Lens crew and Teresa Stover. So it was like that. It was when they were starting to build the Life Through the Lens crew, but Teresa was in there also, and then you came in a little later. So yeah, that was my first hangout, and Kelly invited me in. They were very gentle. It was nice. So, my first experience was very nice. Huh? No, I was in from pretty much the get-go. You came in a little later, actually.
Well,
unless you came in and came back out.
I must be thinking of another hangout.
No,
because
the first
like,
hangout I had
was
was with them.
Hangout Like, I was in the Hangouts, like, at the beginning it was just Tanya Teal and Kelly Cedar Kim.
Unless maybe you came in early and then came back. No, they were there at the beginning, and I hung with them for a while. And then you came in a little later in the hangout. My first. You remember my first?
You always remember the first.
I always remember your first. And it wasn't awkward. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I
Really
remember
hard
that
after.
too. Gary Munro was my first one. Gary.
I know, Gary was my
Yeah.
first too, but it was just kind of us hanging out together, and I was doing my taxes, and
Oh, that's nice.
and then I crashed Mark's hangout because he was doing a movie mashup hangout, and I just showed up, and so I've been crashing hangouts since a few months now. I just get on like everywhere. Just hey.
But the most amazing part of the whole thing about Hangouts in general is, like, when you go out in the real world, like, you're not just going to go up to people. Even in a bar, you might talk to people, but not the same way and the same speed. It's like, it's a mega speed kind of thing. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's like speed, maybe not dating, but speed, like, socializing. You know?
Yeah, speed friendship, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all of a sudden you're right in that person's
Everything
living
is like
room
boom,
or wherever
boom,
they
boom,
are.
yeah.
Yeah. You either talk or you don't. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
you're either in it or you're.
And then everything on the stream
sideline.
that goes. Yeah, and everything on the stream becomes more
wanted
interesting.
to-
If you hang out with them, you're like, oh, now I want to see what they're posting and see what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've met so many interesting people just hanging out. People pop in and it's like, oh shit, check this shit out, and damn, where were you? Where you been? I haven't seen your shit before.
Yeah. Because you weren't hanging out. That's why you haven't been.
Right.
You inspired me, Billy. I'm going to do some public hangouts again. It's been a while for me.
Yeah,
I've
this
been
is
to
like my
one of
first
your
hangout I've been seeing.
hangouts. Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
I have been to one of Daniel's hangouts like a long, long time ago. That was one of my first ones. Yes, I remember that. It's just been really long. And I think it was just you and another guy and me. But I don't remember.
Small.
Yes, I don't remember who that was. Who was that? Do you remember that?
I can't remember, but it's been forever since I've done a public hangout because with a lot of followers, I'm always scared to see just what's going to happen. But I think, Bill, you've inspired me, and what I wanted to know, though, I need a little data from you. What is the breakdown of people in the morning, midday, and evening for you? I mean, where are people coming from when you're doing your 12-hour hangouts? Did you see diversity of groups depending on the time of day, or how did that change?
Well, some people seem to say that changes by the time of day, but I feel as if it's like always the same. Maybe I get more Arabic speakers in the afternoon and more Spanish and Portuguese later at night, but it seems to be like at any time, really. It seems quite even.
We Latins come out at night. That's fine.
That's right. I'm trying to figure out that with my posts as well, because if I post at different times of day, I get different types of commenters and different languages in the comments. So I'm still trying to understand that.
I think a great feature would be if, like, Pat has it when you can set your awake or sleep. And I think if you're going to leave Google Plus for a while, whether you're going to go to sleep or for the day, you check a box saying when you're gone for a while, so then maybe it can give you a digest of stuff that you might miss, when you come back, versus having people having to reshare and reshare. That's kind of annoying to have to reshare from time zone.
It is very much.
That's a great idea. Yeah. But then people have more stuff to go through, because then they're going through that, and they're going to miss the other stuff. So it's like, you're never going to get everything, unless you follow 5 people.
Yeah, and then you get everything.
So, Billy, do you do public hangouts at a regular interval every week, or how does it work?
Every day now. I do it
Every day?
I kind of started like on Saturday. As I've now started this program called Beginner Hangout Saturdays, which I do each Saturday. I have a group of 25 people, and we help new people get into Hangouts by either joining their Hangouts or we start public Hangout and then they can join. So it's kind of an open model, whatever will work, different types of strategies. And after like the Beginner Hangout Saturday, and it's supposed to just be between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Saturday afternoons, and I just went, like, I just kept the hangout running that I had started publicly, and it went for 12 hours, and I just found that, you know, it was interesting how many different people came in. Like, the amount of people I circled, like, grew pretty well at the same rate as my block list grew, but I met a lot of interesting people. And it just made me interested in seeing who I'd see, you know, if I started a public hangout the next day. And typically I end up, you know, like after a hangout of at least 2 hours, I end up with like a list of at least 100 people that I hang out with. So you get to see quite a few people through public hangouts.
So Billy, I'm always a little curious because you don't a lot of times speak a whole lot when you're in hangouts. You seem kind of like the quiet guy. So what is it that you love so much about hangouts?
I get to see different kinds of people. I get to meet them. I get to know them. I get to learn from them. I get to understand different cultures and different people's viewpoints and ideas. I can sometimes interact with them and that type of thing. Like, I think a lot. Like, I may not be actively participating in the conversation, but I'm listening to everything and thinking about it. And I do sometimes, you know, like chip in here and there, but it's after I've really thought deeply about something or the conversation's about a topic that deeply moves me, and, you know, I speak more.
You're my polar opposite then.
I have to say, Billy, I've hung out with you, and you do speak here and there. But I will say, when I first saw you hosting a show, I was like, wait a second, he's hosting a show. I was like, what is he gonna say?
Billy is very talkative when he shows a coin collection or a stamp collection.
Oh yeah. My coin collection. I get excited about that.
Well, your photography, right?
Yeah, but I don't tend to like get into the conversations with other photographers. These days I'm not as gear oriented because I have nearly no money, so I can't really focus on gear at all. So I mainly just think about concepts. So if people start talking about like different ideologies or philosophies or concepts or stuff like that, that's when I get more engaged rather than just with equipment.
Yeah, conversation's got to have some meat to it. I'm very much the same kind of person, and people make that same kind of comment just even in social situations where I'm just kind of sitting back and just analyzing and thinking. I'm like, but as soon as someone starts talking about ideology or like anything like that, I'd like perk right up. I'm like, all right, let's get to work here. This is interesting, you know.
Yeah,
so I think that's kind of a
people are really interesting to talk to because they are absorbing and they just release when they actually feel like they have something really great to say. And yeah, it's just one of the patterns that I see all the time of people.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a cool thing that for Billy where he's hosting the show, like, yeah, he's just kind of there on the side, and then when he chimes in when he needs to, and it's kind of a cool, unique personality to have that's, you know, the host, I think. You know, as Matthew, you were saying, like, he's starting Hangouts. It's kind of a cool thing. I know it's one of the things that I was, like, attracted to when I first saw it. I was like, oh, this is, you know, this is different. I was kind of expecting him to be the big one on screen, but, you know, he lets everyone else, you know, talk, and that's kind of the cool thing.
Yeah, definitely, because there's always a lot of talkers. I mean, having good listeners, a lot of the times that balance is more.
I disagree about there always being a lot of talkers. You could be in a hangout, and it could be dead silent a lot of times. Have you ever been in those hangouts? No?
Yes, I hate those.
Yeah. And then
I've been in one where it's really quiet.
Yeah, and sometimes when that happens, you feel, you know, if I go in hangouts, a lot of times I feel like it's like I have to entertain or do something, and then it's like it becomes work, and then you're like, well, you start saying, like, I don't want to hang out with this group of people because they're going to make me work all the time. I'm always going to have to figure out what's going on, and it's kind of like, you know, it'll be a hangout like this, and I'll be like, hey, so what's da-da-da, and it'll be like dead. No one's jumping in. It's like pulling, you know, sometimes a show can be like pulling teeth, you know. It depends on who you get in there.
I think it depends on how comfortable you are, too, though. I mean, if you're somebody who isn't really outgoing and there's a bunch of people that you don't know or have never met, you're not going to talk as much. But if you're in your own group of people who you talk with all the time, then you are going to be more talkative, and maybe you won't be able to shut up.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Depends. But this kind of platform, I would think people can still be shy, but I would think they would maybe get over being shy quicker because, I mean, if you don't like what's going on, you could always hit the exit button, So.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. It's that easy.
So, at this point of the show, I want to give it to Jon Levy to play a couple of songs.
Levy.
So.
Yeah. Levy. Good memory. Awesome. All right.
Oh, Levy. Yeah.
All right, this will be interesting because I've never done this. So I've got a little thing going on here. So if it gets too loud, let me know. Just so I can kind of sing a little easier. I'll put this down so you guys can see what I'm actually doing. All right. So this is an original tune of mine called Down and Out.
Oh, well, she calls me when she's down and out, and when we talk for hours at a time. That does not mean we hold each other's hands at night. We hold each other's hands at night. And I'm fine being there to catch her when she falls. That's my place, can't erase the history before. Once I was, but no more. I've finally moved along. This is where I stand. Oh, this is where I stand. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, well, she'll never be the one for me, 'cause I know I'd never leave it be. It's just 'cause I claim my life 'cause she's my life, but I know she doesn't want love of that kind. She doesn't want love of that kind. And I'm fine being there to catch her when she falls. That's my place, can't erase the history before. Once I was, but no more. I finally moved along. This is where I stand. Oh, this is where I stand. Oh, if loving you so easy, how come no one's stealing your heart? You play this game of teasing, and no one could come close to your heart. And I'm fine being there to catch her when she falls. That's my place, can't erase the history before. Once I was, but no more. I finally moved along. This is where I stand. Oh, and I'm fine being there to catch her when she falls. That's my place, can't erase the history before. Once I was, but no more. I finally moved along. This is where I stand. Oh, this is where I stand. Oh, this is where I stand. Oh, oh, this is where I stand. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, something like that.
Yay!
Nice.
I love performing and seeing all these comments in the side window. That's awesome.
Awesome. That was
cool.
awesome. Wow.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Sounded great.
It sounds so good. It sounds better than when we speak. No, I mean the sound is so clean is what I mean. You know, sometimes when I hear anyone talk, it could be cutting out a little bit, you know, like myself probably. But this was like perfect and such a good song.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah,
That was a really nice song.
Usually the audio is not that great, and so it sounded pretty good for what the audio was.
Awesome.
But everyone always sounds better in person than they do.
Yeah.
So, John,
All
has
right.
anyone told you that your musical style sounds similar to John Mayer?
Absolutely, for years. And the first 3 years, because, like, I'm a blues guy, so, like, getting compared to that was awesome because I got the same influences of, like, Eric Clapton and everything. And then after about 2 or 3 years, it was just enough. I was like, okay, I've heard John Mayer too much. And I just, like, started to hate him and hate everyone that, like, complimented me that way. And now I'm back to being like, no, it's okay, it's cool. And
You're like, Jennifer Aniston, leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to do another one here for you guys, and this one will be fun because I grew up here in Japan. Like, I had a manager that I was working with out in L.A., and I put something out on iTunes, and she heard the single. She was like, well, this is cool, but, like, what if you did it in Japanese? Like, people just start freaking out if there's this, like, white guy on stage singing in Japanese, and it doesn't really make sense. And she's like, and we'll just market it, and they'll go crazy. And so I ended up doing this, and so this is my Japanese song. And if you go over to jonlevymusic.com, I just did a huge refresh. I've been, like, learning WordPress for the last 6 months like crazy. And on the sidebar, you can get this song for free now as a download. So I'll play it for you guys. And this one's called Makes Me Better.
僕はここで待っている震える体抱えて心から離れない目を閉じて時を止める、oh、愛してるのは僕だけ君といるのは夢じゃないさあゲームが始まる僕らの未来動き出す昔の僕はもういない君がいるからさずっとこのままでいられるはずさ僕はここにいる溺れずに泳いでる頑張って向こう岸まで怖がらずに飛び込む好きだと言ってほしい手を握ってほしい君の微笑みを浴びて僕の道を照らして昔の僕はもういない君がいるからさずっとこのままでいられるはずさみんなには当然どれだけ大切か君は僕のなくしたかけら好きなのは当然本当だと信じている全部僕の心から全てが始まる昔の僕はもういない君がいるからさずっとこのままでいられるはずさ Cause she makes me better She brings out the best of me when we are together There's no place that I'd rather be There's no place that I'd rather be There's no place that I'd rather be Rather be, rather be, rather be, rather be Ontoni, Mukashi.
Yeah. I didn't understand any of it, but
Didn't understand it, but it was nice.
Didn't matter.
At first I thought, is that French or something?
There are
That
some
was
words
awesome.
that sounded French.
Yes,
Really?
it did to
That's
me at the
cool.
beginning.
I think
and
maybe
then-
his accent, right?
No, there's a few words that really sounded French. I did a double take, and that was beautiful.
were they
Yes,
good
it is.
words in French or just like nonsense?
Just French sounding, you know.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder because you have to think about it. Oh no, it's not French. That was
No, that's really nice. I'm just at your website right now looking at that. I'm gonna download that song for sure. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks for listening, and thanks, Billy, for inviting me. I don't know how you found me, but yeah, awesome.
just like that.
Yeah, how did you find it? Because you got like 60 people. I'm gonna circle and put you out there, man.
Sweet. Thanks, man. Yeah, I just joined a couple of weeks ago, so I've been treading kind of, very lightly and trying to get the vibe of it.
It's a very nice community. You will see. You will love it. It's
Yeah,
a lot
really-
nicer than all the other places out there.
Yeah.
How did you find out about Hangouts and decide to play Hangouts? Like, is there something specific that you saw?
No, well, because I originally joined up because of the photography thing, and I'm into photography, and I was like, oh, this is a really cool community, and then I started to see like Kina and Daria and everyone, all the music stuff. I was like, wow, there's some really cool stuff going on. And then just as I'm thinking about, I'm plotting a way to like do my own and like incorporate it into like a live show or something, Billy got in touch with me. It was just like, hey, I do these shows. You want to come and play? And I was just like, absolutely, let's do it. So it's like perfect timing.
That's sweet.
Great. That's good for us.
Yeah.
That was good for me.
So, was that your first hangout tonight?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Yeah, so you guys were all my first.
That's what I like to hear.
all right, mark another one down.
Yeah.
You probably
Sandra,
taking a
you're
lot.
getting acknowledged there.
Another notch in Sandra's lipstick case.
Whoa.
That's the difference between an artist that stands on the stage and performs. You had no problem joining the hangout or singing in the hangout, which was like, oh my God. And
Right.
then there's other people who don't even want to come in the hangout because they're so worried about it.
Yeah.
That's too cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe, but it's cool. Like I'm definitely digging it and trying to embrace it, and because there's nothing like this out there, and it's a great tool to meet people. Like I've met some unbelievable people so far. I'm only following or like circling 60 people, but just making these relationships with people. It's awesome. As a musician, it's a dream come true. Yeah.
That's how I felt when I first came as a photographer and started meeting people. I've never really had anything like this before, and it's just every day people here amaze me, every single day.
But you got to be careful because you get dragged in and then you can't get out because you're stuck here all day long.
Yeah.
The Hangouts really are the thing. I mean, it's just amazing. I can't believe how intimate it becomes so quickly.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, ask some people to circles now, man.
That's the thing. Every time you go into a hangout, there's somebody you've never met before,
I know.
and that's how you find cool new people. And it's just awesome.
Oh, weird new people.
What?
Oh, weird new people. Cool and weird.
So can I mention that we are having? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Billy.
So since the show's been about an hour now, I'm going to end it. And it was great to have everyone on the show. It was great to have you, Jon Levy, play. And I hope to see everyone next week. I'm going to be starting an after show immediately after this. I'm going to invite everyone in here back in, and we can keep chatting. And it's going to be live. Cool. So I'll see everyone later.
Cool. Sweet.
Thank you all. Be waiting.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you in a few.
Ciao.